There is certainly no shortage of things going on at the moment, and we will get right to it. Thanks for clicking on to the Thursday edition of Vogan's European Outlook for the 4th of April. And we have got not only a named storm, Storm Kathleen, named by the Met Meteorological Agency in Ireland, with what potentially could be one of the deepest lows seen in recorded history for the month of April. We also could see the first UK 21-22 Celsius on Saturday, 70, even 80-mile-an-hour winds up through the Irish Sea and adjacent coasts. And, there is so many things going on at the moment, it's actually a little bit hard to keep up. Before we get into the nuts and bolts of the next few days, I wanted to show you this that I forgot to show in yesterday's video. This is temperatures that were recorded up in northern portions of Scandinavia. Minus 34.3 Celsius was recorded yesterday morning in Finland. This was the coldest April temperature in Finland since 1977, and a temperature of minus 34.1 in northern Sweden was actually Sweden's coldest temperature since 1955. So very significant levels of early April cold up in far northern Scandinavia. But remember, back during the weekend, we've seen record-breaking temperatures into the 30s in places such as Ukraine, Poland, up into the Baltic states, where we're seeing all-time April, or actually should have said March records set in the final couple of days of March. Then we've seen these astonishing low temperatures for early April up in far northern portions of Europe. Now we've got the prospects of Storm Kathleen knocking the door. We have got wind, rain, and we have got a newly developing system that is going to bring some unusually unseasonable conditions for this time of the year to UK and Irish shores. So it looks as if this is a tweet here by James Peacock showing the anomalous 850 temperatures or 5,000 foot level temperatures are going to be getting driven north due to that deepening low pressure system. We've got a strong jet, we'll look at that in a second, strong jet moving across the Atlantic, unusually far south, may I add, and is coming up against a very strong block of high pressure over the European continent. What is happening is this is forcing Atlantic low pressure traffic to then get backed up, coming up against the wall of high pressure over Europe. That then forces the air to pile up and the center of low pressure to deepen significantly. And we've obviously already got off to a very wet start across most of the UK and Ireland. To start April off, we are going to see more rain in the next few days. We also could see a spell of transient hill snow to begin tomorrow. I was driving up the A9 the early hours of this morning, and it was snowing heavy, not that far above sea level near the Inverness area this morning. So cold air lingering across far northern UK is keeping temperatures subdued for the time of the year across the far north, average to slightly above average temperatures elsewhere across central Scotland on south from that. So what's happened so far? Why are we seeing this type of situation take place? Well, we rotated during the middle portions of March. We rotated through phases 4 and 5. We did see the response to strong positive high pressure over Europe, low pressure over the Atlantic, south to southwesterly winds, mild conditions, wet conditions. Then we rotated through phases 6, 7, into 8, into 1, and now we are starting to rotate into phases 3, 4, and even 5. We're rotating back into the warm phases. And remember I said in yesterday's video, the prospects of higher pressure building in during the middle to the second half of next week. Not overly warm, but what is the take home from yesterday's video is the prospects of something drier. How long that lasts remains to be seen. But I think given the amount of rainfall that we've seen in recent weeks and months, this would certainly be welcome news, I think, for the majority of people. So what does this correlate to? We went through phases 7, 8, and 1. The NAO was at the deepest negative, probably in response to that phase 6, 7, 8, and 1 of the MJO. We went from just brief positive right down into the tank like I say, this was the deepest negative since the cold spell during the middle portions of January. You notice what's happening is expected to go back towards positive once again, likely in response to the MJO rotating back towards the warm phases once again. More notable is the Arctic oscillation, and you can see that the Arctic oscillation is going from weak negative. I say weak negative. It's going from going negative, but as you can see here, if I can get the chart to work, as you can see here, it's expected to go into firm positive territory. And this is what I said, during the middle portions of April, we have the possibility of seeing a warm spell, but more importantly, a dry spell for the UK and Ireland here. So it'll be all eyes on the next few days here. But we could be talking about record warm 850 millibar temperatures, not just scraping the southeastern UK as we move from Friday into Saturday, but it's also going to be focused over Central Europe. I would expect to see all-time April record temperatures through parts of the Low Countries, Germany, Poland, Czech Republic, central areas of Europe as we move through the course of this weekend. And it was only last weekend that we were talking about all-time March records falling. So you know the overall theme is on the warm side of things here, and you can see that those unusually warm, record-breaking warm. So you can see the graphic at the very bottom here. This is, like I say, courtesy of James Peacock on Twitter. This is off the ECMWF, and you can see that the pinky colours represent near to record-breaking warm temperatures. So this is the 5,000 foot level temperature, 850 millibars. So you can see here. So it's representing record maximum 850 temperatures across the majority of England and Wales. This is for 0600 UTC on Saturday morning. And I would expect to see temperatures of around 21 or 22 Celsius anywhere from parts of the Greater London and surrounding area up through Cambridgeshire, Norfolk, Suffolk, up into Lincolnshire, and even up into southern Yorkshire. It would not surprise me if we see a 21 Celsius during the late morning, lunchtime, early afternoon on Saturday. That is what I expect to see, and we could even see 16, 17 Celsius on the Murray Coast due to a strong southerly wind. So very interesting things going on at the moment here. But look at this here. I wanted to show you this. This is the jet stream of the GFS model. And you can see the strong jet. We've got quite a lot of contrast and temperature. The stronger the contrast, the tighter the gradient, the stronger the jet stream winds are. Look at how far south it's displaced at the moment here. We've got one branch through the mid-south of the United States. We've got another branch, a stronger branch, arguably the strongest branch, and it's crossing through the borderline between the deep tropics and the subtropical Atlantic here. So there's Spain and Portugal here. This is the Canary Islands. This is the Azores. And it's actually that branch of the jet stream is actually between the Azores and the Canary Islands here. Now what happens is we've got this strong block over Europe. As you've got all that air getting rushed across the Atlantic here, the air has to go somewhere. And if it comes up against that wall, what happens is it then forces all the air to pile up in one area. This then enhances cyclogenesis and enhances the deepening of low pressure. So there's that area of low pressure that we're going to see, which is named Storm Kathleen by the Irish Met Service. You can see here it develops over the Azores during the course of tomorrow morning. And then as it comes up against the resistance and you've got all that air piling up behind the system itself, you then force the system to deepen. So there you go. There's the arm of the jet getting forced almost due north. So you've got the center of the low here, in the dip here, the base of the trough. With that high pressure then stopping the jet from continuing eastwards, you're then forcing the piling up of the air. And as that air gets piled up, it then forces the low to deepen. And of course, as you can see here, there's the deep trough all the way down to the Canary Islands. You've got plenty of warm air over northern Africa. and then that is going to get accelerated northwards from the Canaries, from Morocco, from Algeria, up through Iberia, France, and straight into the UK and Ireland. The reason why I think 21, 22 Celsius is easily achievable is the rate at which that air is going to accelerate from this warm source up into the southeastern UK here. Scotland is not going to get as warm because we're going to be actually underneath the jet, but possibly even on the slight colder side of the jet during the peak hours. So anywhere from about 11 a.m. on Saturday morning through till about 2 or 3 in the afternoon. I think we're going to be actually slightly to the western side or the northern side of that jet, which means we're not going to see quite as good of a potential of seeing strong warming taking place. But with Fern effect, winds crossing over the Grampian Mountains, wouldn't be surprised. Places such as Lossiemouth and etc. and the Murray Coast, wouldn't be surprised if we scrape out a 16, 17, maybe even an 18, wouldn't be surprised. And if you've got the dynamics, if you've got bright skies, for example, as well. But this far south jet is indicative of that phase 7, 8, and 1 of the NJO. Enhances the blocking. We've had the deepest negative NAO signal here, so therefore you've got that south displaced jet. And a lot of our weather has been coming up from the southwest, a warmer source, warmer than average sea surface temperatures. This has been the theme for months now, that jet being further south, higher pressure over Iberia, over Central Europe. That's been then forcing a lot of areas of low pressure to come up from the southwest across our shores, bringing spells of not only mild conditions but very wet conditions. So certainly plenty of things going on at the moment here. So let's look at the GFS and see the evolution of this area of low pressure then. So this is system number 1 that is moving through. This was named by the Portuguese Met Service a few days ago because its associated frontal system brought a lot of bad weather across Portugal in the last few days or so. And then it's actually this system here that becomes Storm Kathleen. So we've got this kind of stretched out envelope of low pressure, this trough that's kind of positioned to the west-southwest of the UK and Ireland here, strong area of high pressure over mainland Europe, generally a fairly mild overall situation, but with colder kind of continuing to kind of bleed south from the north here, and relatively chilly air over the Highlands, for example. This was the reason why heavy snow was breaking out during the course of last night. I actually anticipated heavier snow, by the way, during the course of yesterday. We may see another spell of heavy snow as this moisture, not from Kathleen, but the lead system that was originally named by the Portuguese Met Service, that's going to spread a new area of heavy rain, persistent rain, followed by blustery showers once that frontal system moves through. This is during the early portions of tomorrow. So let's have a look and see actually a more close-up view and see what we're looking at here. Slightly closer up view, and you can see what takes place. So we'll play through the loop as we move into the day tomorrow morning. You've got the heavy snow breaking out with any kind of elevation. We may see a temporary covering of snow in there on high-level road routes, for example, A9, A96, A95, etc., etc. That band of rain, sleet, and snow moves through. Then we see the development of Storm Kathleen, and as I've already explained, the reason why it's deepening. This could be a near or record-breaking low pressure for early April, by the way. As you can see, the pressure drops to 942 millibars, which is pretty remarkable stuff, actually. And what we are going to see is, I think we're going to see 70 to 80 mile per hour winds on exposed coasts, Ireland, England, Wales, as the strong southerly gales funnel up through the Irish Sea. Wave heights are going to be significant. Well, if I can try and remember, I'll try and show you that as well here. So you can see here winds. Let's have a look and see what the wind gust potential is looking like with this system. So you can see here we've got the grey colours representing wind gusts. What would that be? In excess of 100 kilometers per hour. And then as that system moves up through, it's not really showing anything overly dramatic, if you notice here, but we do have some very strong winds up through the the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland. Wouldn't be surprised if we have 50-60 mile per hour winds quite widely, especially over inland areas, 70 plus mile per hour in exposed coasts, and up that Atlantic coast of Ireland we could see 70 to 80 mile an hour winds. But even east of Cork, Waterford, up towards Dublin, the coastline of County Down, for example, could see some very, very nasty gusts as that wind gets funneled between Ireland and the UK mainland here. Notice that the winds are a lot lighter as you get inland over the UK. So strong gusty winds over mainland Ireland and Northern Ireland, not so much over the UK inland areas. Cornwall, Devon, Somerset, parts of Pembrokeshire, for example, up the western side of Wales, southwestern Scotland as well, Isle of Man, all susceptible to 65 to 75, locally 80 mile per hour gusts with this system here, as that deep sub 945 millibar low passes a few hundred miles to the west of the UK and Ireland here. Looking finally at 850 temperatures here, and you can see that surge of unusually warm air getting wafted northwards here, initially clipping the southern and southeastern UK with temperatures of plus 16, 17 Celsius at 850, but then that warmth gets then forced up through the Low Countries, Germany, and into the heart of Europe here. We're back into the fresher air once again as we move later in the day on Saturday and into Sunday. So it's a very brief spell of mild conditions, and that focus of mild is going to be over southeast and eastern portions of England. Let's have a real quick look at the wave heights here, because I think this is quite interesting. I actually didn't realize that this feature was available here on Tropical Tidbits, but it shows the wave height potential here. If I can find it again, because what's going to end up happening is I've seen it before I did the video, and what's going to end up happening is I'm not going to find the wave height potential chart again. I'm not going to find it here. Just bear with me a wee second here, folks, because I thought it was quite a good chart, and it does represent some fairly significant wave heights. And I also know that my dinner is near enough ready as well. So unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to do this. Anyway, I'll try and show it tomorrow's video. I'm not going to waste your time any longer. I can't find that chart, unfortunately. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you again tomorrow with more. Bye for now.